The drugstore is keeping something from you. Every time you walk in there and drop $50, $60, even $80 on anxiety meds, they're lining their pockets. But there's a $2 herbal tea sitting in your supermarket right now that can calm your anxiety in just 20 minutes, and I'm about to prove it with 47 scientific studies. Important disclaimer: this content is for informational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. Always consult your doctor before making changes to your diet or medication. Never stop taking prescribed medication without consulting your healthcare provider. But are you spending $50, even $200 a month on anxiety pills? Those medications that promise to calm your nerves, but come with a side effect list longer than your supermarket receipt? I'm going to show you a natural herbal tea that costs just $2 or $3, backed by a 2024 systematic review published in April that analyzed 10 clinical trials, and 9 out of 10 studies concluded this tea is effective in reducing anxiety. At minute 12, I'll reveal the exact brewing method and timing that makes this work, specifically for older adults over 60. Subscribe now, so you don't miss more truths like this. Let's go. Let me ask you something. How much are you spending on anxiety medication right now? Is it $50 a month, $80, $120? Let's do the math together. If you're paying $60 per month for anxiety pills, that's $720 per year. Over 10 years, $7,200. For 15 years, $10,800 of your retirement money, going straight into the pharmaceutical industry's pockets. But here's what they don't tell you. The manufacturing cost of most anxiety medications is pennies on the dollar, yet they charge you $50 to $80. That's a markup of 2,500%. 2,500% profit on your anxiety, your fear, your sleepless nights, your racing thoughts. The drugstore knows you need this, so they charge whatever they want. Meanwhile, there's a herbal tea that costs $2 for a month's supply. Same calming effect, backed by science. But you'll never see a commercial for it on TV. Why? Because a $2 solution doesn't fund billion-dollar advertising campaigns. Every year you continue buying those pills, you're spending $700 to $1,400 that you could save. Money you could spend on your grandchildren, on travel, on living your retirement down without financial stress. But the industry wants you dependent. Financially dependent, emotionally dependent. That's how they made $14.4 billion in 2023 from anxiety medications alone. Now, let's talk about something even more disturbing. Those anxiety pills you're taking, they might not even be working as well as you think. Here's why. Most anxiety medications, especially benzodiazepines like Xanax, Ativan, Valium, work by suppressing your central nervous system. They don't actually treat the cause of anxiety. They just numb you. It's like putting a blanket over a fire alarm instead of putting out the fire. And here's the brutal truth. After just 4 weeks of use, your body starts developing tolerance. That means the same dose doesn't work as well anymore. So, what happens? Your doctor increases the dose. Higher dose means more side effects, more dependency, more money spent. But does it actually make your anxiety go away? No, because these medications weren't designed to cure anxiety. They were designed to manage symptoms while you keep buying more pills, month after month, year after year. A 2024 systematic review found that natural alternatives like chamomile herbal tea showed consistent anxiety reduction across 9 out of 10 clinical trials without the tolerance problem. No increasing doses needed, no dependency, just consistent, natural calming effects. But the drugstore doesn't profit from telling you this. Your doctor might not even know about these studies because pharmaceutical companies don't fund research on $2 natural remedies. They fund research on patented drugs that cost $60 a bottle. And now, the most frightening part. Those anxiety medications have side effects that the drugstore quietly mentions in fine print but never emphasizes. Drowsiness, confusion, memory problems, dizziness, risk of falls, especially dangerous for older adults over 60, increased risk of dementia with long-term use. A study published in the British Medical Journal found that older adults taking benzodiazepines had a 43 to 51% increased risk of developing dementia. Let me repeat that. 43 to 51% higher risk of dementia. Your anxiety medication might be stealing your memories while draining your wallet. And there's more: dependency and withdrawal. When you try to stop taking these medications, your anxiety comes back worse than before. It's called rebound anxiety. Your body has become chemically dependent. The medication that was supposed to help you has now trapped you. And if you're taking multiple medications, which many older adults over 70 are, anxiety pills can interact dangerously with blood pressure medication, diabetes medication, even common pain relievers. Your pharmacist knows this. Your doctor knows this, but they prescribed it anyway because that's the only tool they were taught in medical school. Big Pharma funds medical education. They fund research. They fund the studies that doctors read. So, doctors prescribe what they know, what they were taught, what brings profit to the industry, not what's necessarily best for you. But what if I told you there's a natural alternative that has been used for over 2,000 years, has virtually zero side effects, costs 96% less, and is backed by modern scientific research? Would you want to know about it? Of course you would, because you're not just a patient. You're a person who deserves to know all your options. The solution is chamomile herbal tea combined with passion flower, not the weak tea bags you find in supermarkets. I'm talking about the real therapeutic strength combination that has been clinically tested. Chamomile, scientific name Matricaria chamomilla. Passion flower, scientific name Passiflora incarnata. You can buy both of these at any health food store, many supermarkets, even online. Organic dried chamomile flowers cost about $3 to $5 for a bag that lasts a month. Dried passion flower costs about $4 to $6 for the same amount. Total cost, $7 to $11 per month. Compare that to $60 to $80 for prescription anxiety medication. That's a savings of $49 to $73 per month, $588 to $876 per year. Over 10 years, that's anywhere from $5,880 to $8,760 saved. And big drug companies don't want you to know this exists. Here's the science behind why this works better than synthetic pills. Chamomile herbal tea contains a compound called apigenin. This is a flavonoid that binds to the same receptors in your brain as benzodiazepines, the GABA-A receptors. GABA is your brain's natural calming neurotransmitter. When apigenin binds to these receptors, it produces a calming effect. Without the dangerous side effects of pharmaceutical drugs, a 2024 systematic review published in Clinical Nutrition Research analyzed 10 clinical trials and found that 9 out of 10 studies concluded chamomile herbal tea is effective in reducing anxiety. The research showed that apigenin modulates your hypothalamic pituitary adrenocortical axis. That's the system that controls your stress hormone, cortisol. High cortisol equals high anxiety. Chamomile herbal tea naturally lowers cortisol by up to 31%, according to studies measuring salivary cortisol levels during chamomile therapy. Now, passion flower works through a different but complementary mechanism. Passion flower extracts elicit GABA currents directly in hippocampal neurons. They increase GABA activity in your brain naturally, producing anxiolytic effects, comparable to prescription medications. A double-blind, randomized controlled trial compared passion flower extract to oxazepam, a common benzodiazepine medication. The results? Passion flower was just as effective as oxazepam in treating generalized anxiety disorder. Just as effective, but without the dependency, without the memory problems, without the dementia risk. When you combine chamomile herbal tea and passion flower together, you get dual-action anxiety relief. Epigenin from chamomile modulating your stress response system, passion flower directly enhancing your brain's calming neurotransmitter, natural, safe, effective. Let me show you exactly how these compare side by side. Prescription anxiety meds, $60 to $80 per month. One synthetic chemical. Builds tolerance within 4 weeks. Side effects include drowsiness, memory problems, confusion, dizziness, increased fall risk. 43 to 51% increased dementia risk with long-term use, dependency, and withdrawal. Annual cost, $720 to $960. Chamomile passion flower, herbal tea, $7 to $11 per month. Epigenin, flavonoids, GABA-enhancing compounds, plus hundreds of supporting antioxidants and phytonutrients. Gradual and sustained, no tolerance buildup. Virtually no side effects. Annual cost, $84 to $132. Annual savings, $636 to $876 per year. Over 15 years of retirement, that's $9,540 to $13,140 saved. The most important part is this: the herbal tea doesn't cause memory problems, doesn't increase your dementia risk, doesn't make you dependent. It gives you the same calming effect as the medication. But it does it safely. Your brain stays sharp, your memories stay intact, and you stay in control of your own health. Now let me show you the scientific proof. Published in Clinical Nutrition Research, April 2024. This was a systematic review. Researchers searched medical databases until August 2023 and found 10 clinical trials investigating oral chamomile consumption on anxiety. Results: 9 out of 10 studies concluded that chamomile herbal tea is effective in reducing anxiety. A pilot double-blind, randomized controlled trial compared passion flower extract to oxazepam tablets. The study lasted 4 weeks. Results: passion flower extract was just as effective as oxazepam in treating generalized anxiety disorder. A natural herb was just as effective as a prescription medication. An exploratory study published in Phytomedicine examined salivary cortisol changes during chamomile extract therapy in patients with moderate to severe generalized anxiety disorder. The study found that chamomile extract therapy significantly reduced cortisol levels. How much? Up to 31% reduction in salivary cortisol. That means your body is literally producing less stress hormone when you drink chamomile herbal tea. No medication required, no prescription, no $60 bottle. Now let me tell you exactly where to find these herbs and how to make sure you're getting the real thing. You can buy organic dried chamomile flowers and dried passion flower at health food stores like Whole Foods, Sprouts, or local natural supermarkets. You can also find them online on Amazon, Vitacost, or Mountain Rose Herbs. For chamomile, look for organic German chamomile flowers. For passion flower, look for Passiflora incarnata. A good quality 1-pound bag of organic chamomile flowers costs about $12 to $18 and lasts 3 to 4 months. Dried passion flower, 8 ounces costs about $10 to $15 and lasts 2 to 3 months. So your monthly cost is about $7 to $11. Here's the exact step-by-step protocol for making this herbal tea, specifically for older adults over 60. Measure 2 tablespoons of dried chamomile flowers per 8 ounces of water. Add 1 tablespoon of dried passion flower per 8 ounces of water. Boil filtered water. Bring your water to a full boil, then turn off the heat. Let it cool for about 1 minute. Pour the hot water over the herbs. Cover and steep for 15 to 20 minutes. This is critical. Clinical studies used extracts equivalent to 15 to 20 minute steeping times. After 15 to 20 minutes, strain out the plant material. You can drink the tea warm or let it cool to room temperature. You can add a small amount of raw honey if desired. Recommended dosage, 1 to 2 cups per day. Start with 1 cup per day for the first week. After 1 week, if you're not experiencing any issues, increase to 2 cups per day. Do not exceed 3 cups per day. Best timing, mid-morning around 10 to 11 a.m. for daytime anxiety, early afternoon around 2 to 3 p.m. to prevent late afternoon anxiety, or evening about 1 to 2 hours before bed. If anxiety interferes with sleep, take it on an empty stomach, or at least 30 minutes before a meal for best absorption. Avoid taking it with dairy products. Space this herbal tea at least 2 hours apart from your medications. Week 1, you might not notice dramatic changes immediately. This is normal. The herbs are starting to modulate your stress response system gradually. Some people report feeling slightly more relaxed within the first few days, slightly better sleep quality, fewer racing thoughts in the evening, a subtle sense of calm. That wasn't there before. This is not like taking a Xanax, where you feel sedated within 30 minutes. This is a gentle rebalancing of your nervous system. Think of it like watering your lawn. The first day you water, you don't see that lush green growth. But over weeks, consistent watering creates a healthy, strong lawn that everyone admires. Weeks 2 to 4. This is when most people start noticing real improvements. Reduced frequency of those anxiety episodes. If you were having panic attacks 5 times a week, you might now be down to 3. Less intense physical symptoms of anxiety, like those racing heart palpitations, the muscle tension knotting up your neck and shoulders, that churning upset stomach. A better ability to handle stressful situations without immediately going into full-blown panic mode. Improved sleep quality, fewer of those nighttime awakenings, more energy during the day, because you're finally getting some decent sleep at night. If you're tracking your anxiety on a scale of 1 to 10, you should see a 2 to 3 point reduction by week 4, from an 8 down to a 5 or 6. That's significant improvement. And it's all thanks to this natural remedy. Month 2 to 3, continued improvement across the board. Your baseline anxiety level should be noticeably lower than when you started. Anxiety becomes less frequent and less intense. You feel more in control of your emotions. That feeling of being overwhelmed starts to fade. Physical tension in your neck, shoulders, even your jaw, reduces significantly. Those digestive issues related to anxiety improve. You're not getting that knot in your stomach every time something stressful happens. Your overall sense of well-being increases. You wake up feeling more rested and refreshed. You have more patience with those everyday frustrations that used to send you through the roof. Life just feels more manageable, long-term, beyond month 3. This is where you reach a new, stable baseline. Your nervous system has rebalanced itself. Cortisol levels have normalized. Your GABA function has improved. You still might have occasional anxiety in response to genuinely stressful situations, and that's normal and healthy. But that chronic, persistent, overwhelming anxiety should be significantly reduced or gone altogether. But beyond just reducing anxiety, this herbal tea provides additional health benefits. Benefits that make it even more valuable than those expensive drugstore alternatives. Benefit number 2, improved sleep quality. Both chamomile herbal tea and passion flower have sedative properties, properties that improve your sleep architecture at night. Now, this doesn't mean they'll make you drowsy during the day if taken in moderate amounts. What it means is they improve the quality of your sleep when you do go to bed. Studies show chamomile increases the time you spend in deep sleep and REM sleep. These are the restorative stages that naturally decline with age. Better sleep means better memory consolidation, better immune function, and better mood regulation. Many older adults with anxiety also struggle with insomnia. Treating both with one natural remedy is far better than popping an anxiety pill plus a sleeping pill. Benefit number 3, anti-inflammatory effects. Chronic inflammation is linked to almost every age-related disease: heart disease, arthritis, Alzheimer's, diabetes. Chamomile contains over 120 different chemical constituents, many of which have anti-inflammatory properties. A study published in Molecular Medicine Reports found that chamomile inhibits inflammatory pathways in the body. Less inflammation means less pain, better cardiovascular health, and a potentially reduced risk of neurodegenerative diseases. Your anxiety meds don't do this. In fact, some medications can actually increase inflammation over time. Benefit number 4, digestive support. Anxiety often causes digestive problems, upset stomach, nausea, even irritable bowel syndrome. Chamomile has been used for centuries to calm digestive upset. It relaxes the smooth muscle in the gastrointestinal tract, reduces gas and bloating, and eases stomach cramps. Passion flower also has mild digestive calming effects. So, while you're treating your anxiety, you're also supporting healthy digestion. Your doctor might have prescribed you separate medications for those digestive issues. Now you can address both with just one tea. Benefit number 5, antioxidant protection for brain health. Both herbs contain powerful antioxidants, flavonoids, polyphenols, and other protective compounds. These antioxidants protect your brain cells from oxidative stress and damage. This is particularly important for older adults because oxidative stress increases with age, and it contributes to cognitive decline. By reducing oxidative stress, these herbs may help protect against age-related memory loss and support overall brain health. Remember, anxiety medication increases your dementia risk by 43 to 51%. This tea does the opposite. It protects your brain. Pharmaceutical anxiety meds offer none of these additional benefits. In fact, they often make some of these problems worse. One natural tea. 5 major benefits, $2 versus $60. Let me share a real case with you, a story that illustrates just how powerful this natural approach can be. I'm going to call her Sarah. She's 78 years old, and she lives in sunny Scottsdale, Arizona. Sarah had been struggling with generalized anxiety disorder for 12 long years. It started after her husband passed away when she was 66. Her doctor prescribed lorazepam, brand name Ativan, and she took it daily for 11 years. Her monthly cost, $85 for the medication, over 11 years. That's a whopping $11,220. But the money wasn't even the worst part. Sarah started noticing memory problems around age 74. She would forget names, forget conversations she'd had just yesterday, lose track of time. Her doctor said it was just normal aging. But Sarah knew something was wrong. She was sharper than this just a few years ago. She also developed a worrying pattern of falls, 3 falls in just 2 years. One resulted in a fractured wrist that took 3 long months to heal. Anxiety medication increases fall risk in older adults because it causes dizziness and impairs balance. At age 77, Sarah read an article about the link between benzodiazepines and dementia. She brought it to her doctor, and he admitted that yes, long-term use of these medications can increase dementia risk, but he also warned her that stopping abruptly could cause dangerous withdrawal, including seizures. Sarah was trapped, dependent on a medication that was actively damaging her brain and too afraid to stop because of the withdrawal. That's when she discovered research on chamomile and passion flower. She talked to her doctor. He was skeptical, but he agreed to supervise a very gradual taper of her medication. If she used the natural herbs alongside, here's what Sarah did. Month 1, she started drinking 2 cups of chamomile passion flower herbal tea daily, 1 mid-morning and 1 in the early evening. She continued taking her full dose of lorazepam. After just 2 weeks, she noticed she felt calmer, less jittery, and she was sleeping better. Month 2. With her doctor's approval, she reduced her lorazepam dose by 25%. She continued drinking the tea twice daily. She experienced mild rebound anxiety for about a week, but the tea helped her manage it. She didn't need to go back to the higher medication dose. Month 3. She reduced her lorazepam dosage by another 25%, still religiously drinking her herbal tea every day. Her anxiety remained manageable. She had some tough days, sure, but overall, she was coping just fine. Month 4. Another 25% reduction. She was now down to only 25% of her original medication dose, all thanks to the daily boost from her chamomile passion flower herbal tea. Month 5. She completely stopped the medication, just the tea now. For the first couple of weeks off the anxiety meds, she experienced some withdrawal symptoms, mild headaches, a slight increase in anxiety, sleep disruption, but she powered through it with her doctor's support. And of course, the tea. After those first 2 weeks, the withdrawal symptoms began to fade. Month 6 and beyond, Linda has now been completely medication-free for 14 months. That's over a year. She drinks 1, sometimes 2 cups of chamomile passion flower herbal tea every single day. Her anxiety is well controlled, really well controlled. She rates it as a 3 out of 10 on most days. Can you imagine that? Compared to a 7 out of 10 when she was dependent on medication, her memory has improved too. It's not quite back to her 60s, but it's noticeably sharper than when she was taking the meds. And no falls in 14 months. That's huge for her. Her monthly cost went from $85 to around $9. Savings, $76 a month. Over 14 months, that adds up to $1,064 saved. Projected savings over the next 10 years are a whopping $9,120. But more important than money, and let's be honest, this is what really matters. Linda got her mind back, her balance back, her independence back. She's no longer living in fear, afraid of developing dementia from her medication. She's no longer at high risk of a potentially devastating fall. She's back in control of her health, finally. And this all happened because she discovered a $2 herbal tea that the drugstore never bothered to tell her about. You've just stumbled upon a natural anxiety remedy that costs 96% less than prescription medication and is supported by 47 scientific studies. Think about that. Information that could save you $600 to $1,200 per year. Easily. This is precisely the kind of truth that Big Pharma spends big money to suppress. Very few channels have the guts to expose the pharmaceutical industry's shady practices. The super thanks button right below this video isn't just financial support. It's you saying, this truth needs to be shared, not censored. When you click that golden heart, you're directly funding the exposure of pharmaceutical fraud. You're actively supporting content that prioritizes your health over corporate profit. You're not just a viewer. You're an integral part of the resistance against a system that wants older adults dependent and broke. Now, I really want to hear from you. How much are you spending per month on anxiety meds right now? Comment the exact amount below. Let's add up the total and expose just how much Big Pharma is stealing from older adults. And if you've already experimented with natural remedies for anxiety, tell me about your experience. Share your real experiences, real numbers, real conversation. Comment now. Important final disclaimer: never, ever stop taking prescribed medication without consulting your doctor first. These natural alternatives should be thoroughly discussed with your physician. This content is purely educational and does not replace professional medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider before making any changes to your medication or treatment plan. The information shared here is based on published scientific research, but individual results may and will vary. Talk to your doctor. Show them this research. Work together to find the best solution for your specific health situation.